Hey guys, it's your humble host, or Kyo if you prefer, so I'm back with another video. I thought I would do something a bit different this time. Something fun, something interesting, and something I know that gets on a lot of people's nerves. So, as you can see on the screen, I have a picture of Black Cat from Marvel's Spider-Man. And this is a screenshot or a photograph of a cover. I could not find the full thing, unfortunately, and when you zoom in, it is very much pixelated. It has a low resolution. Anyway, so what I decided to do is a few things because I've been trying to work on my art more and I wanted to see if I could edit this. Now, before you guys grab your pitchforks, settle down and just watch. Anyway, so I did grow up with the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon, and I believe I already discussed Black Cat in one of my videos a while back in regards to sexy characters. If not, it could have been Catwoman from the 1990 Batman series, which I was also a fan of. Anyway, so I looked up a picture to see if there's one that I could mess with. And to be honest, there wasn't really a whole lot because for me, I don't particularly see a problem with the way that Black Cat is drawn. She was a fun character in the show. She kind of started out as a damsel in distress. Her real name's Felicia Hardy. And I actually had to go back and look to see how she became Black Cat because I don't remember how it happened in the show. It's been a while since I've seen the 1990s cartoon. Anyway, so this one I found in particular, and there's not a whole lot wrong with it in my opinion. The one thing that really bothered the crap out of me, and it's usually one extreme or the other. I'm going to use a layer here so I don't ruin the initial thing. But when it comes to the 3/4 perspective, and now let me remind you, because I did talk about this, if any of you follow a comic book artist called David Finch, he talks about dynamic posing. This is a dynamic pose. Now, my only issue with this is you have one shoulder here, there's the collarbone, neck, there's the other shoulder right there. Now, here's the problem. This is why I wanted to edit this one, is in my opinion is not objective. Each art style is different, so I want to say that as well. But if you look at the line here, and you look at the breast, so she's clearly not wearing a bra. You know, that's perfectly fine. That's not the issue. The issue is when you're dealing with 3/4 perspective, and I've seen this in opposing ways where you're going to get this boob that is leading and is bigger than the one that's for front and center, which would be this one. Or you get this scenario, and I know comic book artists, they have to work quick, they have to work fast, they have to be on top of their coloring, speed, and what have you. So, with that being said though, this, even though, yes, there's gravity, it's pulling the breast up. Sorry, my cats are screaming in the background. Even though gravity's pulling the breast up, you should still have a fairly sizable, and there shouldn't be that point like there, in my opinion. Shouldn't be that point right there, and this should be just maybe a skosh bigger. Let me loosen this or mess with the opacity. So you should still have something fairly big. You do have that gravity, which is kind of reshaping that boob just a bit. Now, granted, I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I have no college training. So this is stuff I have learned on my own, either from anime art books, watching multiple tutorials. So do not think that I am completely 100% correct here. I just wanted to show, oh crap, I know what I'm doing now. How about we not do that? I'm drawing on the original photo, which is a big freaking no-no. Anyway, I can fix that later. So, as I was saying, you want to have that particular just shape where it's a little bit bigger, but you still have gravity kind of pulling it up. And it is a little bit further back. So let me actually change this line here. Because it's pulling it back, you're going to have a little bit of a tighter line here, which kind of squishes it a little bit more here, but it's still not going to shrink it. Notice where the artist had put it. Now granted, I do apologize, I don't know who drew this cover, I just thought it was cool, but the pet peeve was the size of the boob. Even though it's in 3/4 form, it still drove me up a wall. So, with that being said, I thought I would go and see if I can make the edit better. Now, as I said, wait before you grab your pitchforks. So here's what I did. So I'm gonna put this layer. First thing I did is I took the clone stamp tool and I pretty much mimicked the pixels and surrounding background here. I actually will say, now that I look at it, I can do a little bit of a better job mixing this about. So if you guys don't know what the clone stamp tool is, all it really does is grabs, you press the Alt key and it has this little target right here, and it lets you grab pieces of the background, see, that's much better, and copy and paste it and helps blend it in, and there's all kinds of brushes you can use. I'm actually gonna grab some stars. Oh, you piece of crap. It's a little bit tricky, so it takes a little bit practice to get used to. Granted, I usually don't use this tool a lot, and I don't do a whole lot of photo editing. Ooh, I like that even better. Awesome sauce. So what I did was the clone tool was I wanted to reshape the breast myself because I wanted that gravity pull. And I also wanted to make it a little bit bigger. Yes, bigger. So here is my version. There was also a pet peeve with the original. I have no idea what is going on. Let me make sure you guys can actually see this here. Hopefully you guys can see my cursor. If not, oh well. Let me draw it. So I have no idea what the frick was going on right here. I have no freaking clue. It was weird, strange. I have no idea. So what I did was when I went to recreate the breast, so to speak, is I took a small piece, copy and pasted this, repasted it into its own separate layer, and I just lightly shaded over it, messed with it. Now, I could tweak with this all day because when you have, clearly she's not wearing a bra, but she's wearing a very tight suit that allows her breast to breathe a little bit, but still kind of squeezes them together. So I've been debating whether or not to do this line darker right here, and it's kind of been a mixed bag. See, I'm messing with the opacity here. So, I mean, you could do something like that, and it still looks natural. And I got rid of, like, whatever the weird sharp thing was right here. I have no flippin' idea what that is supposed to be. And now, granted, this is pixelated, so that could have destroyed whatever that was, the resolution. But it's a little weird. So to kind of match with the sort of thing to add a noise, if you will, I just took what's called the sharpen tool and put it over it, and it kind of puts like those little colorful pixels. So it makes it look a little bit more natural, as if it was part of the original image to begin with. So the suit, like I said, I wanted to reshape the suit myself. And that's particularly what I did. Again, you have that gravity pull, you have it more kind of smushed because it's pulling the suit up, but you still have it at a expected size that you would see it at a 3/4 view. So the next thing I did was the shine. Now, as you could see, because you turn that on, I kind of tweaked with a little bit of stuff. I brought down the shine in her face, kind of sharpened the face just a little bit, add a little bit more glow to her eyes. I kind of like that effect. That's just me. Now, as for the shine to mimic it, at first I thought using the clone tool would be best, but then I really thought about it because I couldn't get the effect that I wanted. So I just used the eyedrop, got like a gray, shaped out the shine, and used the sharpen tool, and it put back that pixelated look as if it was never edited to begin with. So as I said, I would much prefer work with a high resolution image, simply because it's more challenging. You're working with a lot more color, so to speak, and you get a lot more practice that way. Pixels, that's a whole other ball of wax within itself. It's still practice, it's still tweaking with stuff, and you have to make it look like, again, you didn't edit it, and that was a natural part of the picture. So the next thing I did, and this is the only last thing, is this fur line. I'm not sure what kind of happened here. I think it was like a quick sketch, and again, artists, especially comic book artists, have to work fast. They have to be quick, accurate, and whatnot. So, mistakes happen. Granted, like I said, I'm not an expert, so. But I wanted to fill out that fur part just a little bit more, because I always kind of like that aspect of her costume. Is that nice fur that she had. And actually, I'm going to do something here, because that line's a little bit weird to me. I'm doing this mid-video. So let me talk a little bit about the controversy, because I even did my own video on it when it comes to people editing comic book covers and the like. And for the most part, it depends on where the edit was done. It depends on the type of edit. Like, for example, you had people taking all the superheroes from DC and making them fatter, even though they're constantly working out, working on their powers, in constant battle, so they're going to be ripped up the wazoo and in excellent shape and more defined and all that wonderful stuff. So those edits, I think, were beyond stupid, beyond cringy, and just like, you don't know how the human body works when it comes to constantly being in battle, exercising, and working out. So now there was a edit quite a few months ago by a Tumblr artist, and I didn't think the edit was bad. I really didn't, because I liked it, and I even made a video about it, talking about what I was specifically drawn to, because that is the sort of thing, like I said, I'm not against sexy characters, but I have noticed that some comic book covers look like soft porn, and I, for one, do not like it, but people have their own stroke and things like that. I'm just fixing this line because it looked a little bit too, how do I put it, chirp. But with that being said, in my opinion, there was really nothing wrong with the edit per se, and the artist talked about how the pose that was in there of Mary Jane holding a coffee cup with the window open, just kind of looking off screen or off canvas, however you want to put that, said realistically that the pose was not viable, nor could a real human being do such a pose. Well, you had someone named Star Wars Girl prove, I believe it's that Star Wars Girl or the Star Wars Girl prove that yes, you can do this pose, and that's where I had literally just watched a video by David Finch about dynamic posing, where you put more emotion, expression, movement into all types of positions and gestures of the character, including sitting. So every position just about, from handshakes to walking to sitting, everything is dramatic. It's a comic book, it's supposed to be. So the comic book artist himself, because I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, I want to say Scott Campbell, but I could have the wrong name. Again, I do apologize if I do. I want to say kind of overreacted a little bit because it wasn't that bad of an edit. Actually, looking at Photoshop skills, the photo edit was actually phenomenal, and it looked like it had naturally been drawn like that to begin with. So that's what kind of impressed me about it. But I understand a lot of people are touchy because they're about tired of their art getting fixed. So hopefully I didn't irritate people too much. I just wanted to test my photo editing skills. And I found the boob, yes, to be too small, ironically. Still looking at it, I don't know if I'm quite... Now, granted, this isn't my natural piece. I don't know if I'm still quite happy with it. Maybe it's still a little bit too small, but I do think it's better than it was. And granted, as I said, artists have to draw this, comic book artists have to draw this especially quick. So, and they could probably draw circles around me from here to China. Ha 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 ha, slight joke. Anyway, so what do you guys think? I wasn't here to quote unquote like mess with anyone's art. I just wanted to see, I liked Black Cat growing up. Enjoyed the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon. I initially don't find anything inherently wrong with her costume. I do know that for the newer Spider-Man games, somebody did a self-insert and made her far more conservative than she should be, in my opinion. Like, I swear some of the versions of the suit are just, like, ugly. And the face is atrocious because the chin is much bigger than the original Black Cat iterations. It is literally that artist dressing herself up as Black Cat. So yeah, that is a thing that happened quite a while ago. It's still a cringy thing. Oh, I see one more thingy here. Like I said, this is, so photo editing in itself is a skill. You see quite a few people do it in photography to clean up red eyes, to clean up backgrounds, remove things, to add things. So it's not inherently a bad skill, and it's not a bad thing to practice at. But I think, as I said, what peeves off a lot of people is why it's being done to begin with. A lot of comic book artists do not like their stuff being messed with. They particularly do not like their characters being redrawn as fat or non-feminine or not masculine, excuse me. It's late, so I'm having issues talking apparently. So yeah, that is why a lot of people get pet peeved with this stuff, but generally photo edits are a skill and I do think they need to be practiced on. If you want to be kind of like a jack of all trades, and just kind of dip your toes and various things. But again, that's just me. I wanted to do something like this for fun. I wasn't here to upset the artist or anything like that. I actually really like this cover. It's just the boobs, like, really was my pet peeve. And I think, because I've been used, I went in the mirror and tried to get a reference. I know that's weird. A lot of artists do that, though. I still think it's a little bit too small, but again, you have it pulling up, and possibly that shoulder maybe is like right here. So it's going to pull it up just a little bit higher, but not too much higher. If she's wearing a bra, it'd be shaped a little bit different, but she's not. Anyway, so that is my version. I'm going to show you the other one. Boop! Ah! White screen. With the freaking red scribble, and I am so sorry. I do have the original image still, so that red scribble will not be there. So this is the original one without the red scribble. And then this is mine. So tell me what you guys think. This is the first time I do a video like this. I don't know if I'll do more. If you think it's worse, put a W. If you think it's better, put a B. Anyway, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.